Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out with esteemed boxing journalist Jeff Powell. Jeff, we're here today at the Park Plaza. We've had a very pleasant media lunch with David Haye, talking about the 10-year anniversary of his win over Nikolay Valuev for the WBA heavyweight title. Where do you place that achievement into context with other British fighters who've won big fights abroad?
Well, first of all, the size does part of that for you, because we're talking about a 7-foot giant who he had to take on as a guy coming up from cruiserweight. So the size differential makes it a huge achievement, even just physically. It was an astonishing effort by him. He boxed very cleverly. He was never in serious trouble against him. The fact that he managed to achieve that against such a big man with obviously such a heavy puncher was pretty extraordinary. In terms of epic fights, it doesn't sit with one or two of the things that people have done. Like, I mean, Josh Taylor the other night was a tremendous effort against a great fighter. But you know, that was a contest of some equals. David managed to turn a fight he was expected by many people to lose into a one-sided fight in which he just had to make sure he wasn't knocked out. So it was a significant achievement.
The fact that the two biggest wins of David Haye's career came on away soil, first against Jean-Marc Mormec, then at heavyweight against Valuev, does that add something extra to his legacy?
I think it always does. If you fight away, and everybody should fight abroad. There's no question about that. In that it's important to your legacy. Even losing to Klitschko, he went and fought away in Germany. And that takes courage, that takes nerve, that takes belief. And I think if you only ever win at home, you're not a completely filled-out fighter.
What do you make of the current kind of odd couple pairing between David Haye now managing Derek Chisora, erratic heavyweight?
Well, it's interesting because David, of course, was thoroughly dedicated, super fit, wonderful specimen of an athlete, and Derek has been, a maverick wandering around, big punch, able to knock people out, but perhaps never in the greatest condition. And the fact that Chisora has gone to David and said, what do I need to do to get perhaps something better out of the last phase of my career is fascinating. It appears that he's buckled down to living the life of the boxer. For that, David never likes to take credit, but obviously he's managed to persuade him that if he's going to have something other than a secure living for his family and whoever his next dog may be, lucky animal.
Rest in peace, Winston, we should say. Very sorry for Derek's loss.
Yes, we should. He loved the dog. It was great having him around, wasn't it, everyone? The fact that he's now thinking in terms of what do I have some kind of place in history, is that possible for a 9-defeat fighter? David's convinced him it's possible. David's convinced him to sort of get out of the restaurants and into the gym. So it's perhaps you need the complete opposite to make you see the error of your ways and to see the possibility of something greater than you've been doing. There was evidence of that in the fight with David Price, and it would be interesting now if he does go on to get him a world heavyweight title fight, perhaps for the WBO, perhaps against Usyk. Then it will be interesting to see if that journey can be fully completed. But he's got more chance of putting his name up in lights now than he had when he was undefeated, which is unusual for anybody.